how China is reacting to increased U.S. military bases in the Philippines. Welcome back to the channel, where we discuss the latest geopolitical developments in the Asia-Pacific region. In this video, we'll be exploring President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s recent announcement that 4 new military bases under a defense agreement with the U.S. will be located in various parts of the Philippines, including a province facing the South China Sea. This announcement comes amid China's growing assertiveness in the South China Sea and towards Taiwan, and marks a significant shift in the American military presence in the Philippines since the early 1990s. Now, in the early 1990s, the U.S. military maintained 2 large bases in the Philippines, namely the Clark Air Base and Subic Bay Naval Base. However, in 1991, the Philippine government decided not to renew the leases for these bases, and the U.S. military was forced to withdraw from the country. This withdrawal raised concerns among U.S. allies about America's commitment to regional security and marked a significant shift in the strategic land space of the Asia-Pacific region. However, in recent years, the U.S. has sought to re-establish a military presence in the Philippines as part of its broader efforts to counter China's growing military assertiveness in the region. In 2014, the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement (EDCA) was signed between the Philippines and the U.S., which allowed American troops to operate from 5 Philippine military bases. Last month, President Marcos granted the U.S. access to 4 additional sites, which would boost the country's ability to defend the eastern side of its largest island, Luzon. This move is significant, as Luzon is the closest main Philippine island to the self-ruled Taiwan that China claims as its own. The Philippines and the U.S. are expected to announce the locations of the new military bases soon. In the rest of this video, we will delve into China's past expansion into the South China Sea, particularly their island fortresses back in 2015. We will also examine their potential to be used as springboards against American bases in the Philippine Islands, and how the U.S. will utilize their bases in the Philippines to help support Taiwan, as well as to suppress the effectiveness of China's military bases in the South China Sea. Stay tuned for more insights and analysis on this developing story. China's island fortresses, a threat to American bases in the Philippines. China's expansion into the South China Sea has been a topic of intense geopolitical debate and scrutiny in recent years. This is particularly true of their construction of island fortresses in the region, which began in earnest around 2015. These man-made islands have sparked concern among regional actors and beyond, as they represent an aggressive push by China to expand their territorial claims in the South China Sea. The South China Sea is a crucial body of water that sees billions of dollars of maritime trade pass through its waters each year. The region is also home to significant oil and gas reserves, which have long been the subject of territorial disputes between China and other countries such as the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia. China's island fortresses, which are built atop previously submerged features such as reefs and rocks, have given China an unprecedented level of control over the South China Sea. The fortresses have been equipped with military-grade runways, missile systems, and other defensive structures, making them formidable military bases capable of projecting Chinese power far beyond their borders. For example, the Subic Reef, which was once a small and insignificant feature in the South China Sea, is now home to a fully operational military base, complete with a runway capable of accommodating fighter jets and other aircraft. Similarly, the Fiery Cross Reef has been transformed into a heavily fortified military base, with a runway capable of hosting long-range bombers. The implications of China's island fortresses in the South China Sea are significant and far-reaching. One of the most pressing concerns is their potential to be used as springboards against American bases in the Philippines, which has long been a crucial American ally in the region. The Philippines is home to several U.S. military bases, including the Subic Bay Naval Base and the Clark Air Base. These bases have played a crucial role in American military operations in the Asia-Pacific region, including during the Vietnam War and the more recent conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. However, the construction of China's island fortresses in the South China Sea has changed the calculus of American military operations in the region. For example, the Spratly Islands, where China has constructed several artificial islands, are located just a few hundred kilometers from the Philippine island of Palawan, where the US has an airbase. The military capabilities of China's island fortresses are formidable. The missile systems installed on these islands have the range to target ships and aircraft in the region, making them a significant threat to American forces operating in the South China Sea. Moreover, China's island fortresses could enable them to establish a blockade of the Manila Bay, which is home to a major U.S. naval base in the Philippines. By controlling the South China Sea, China could limit the ability of the U.S. to operate in the region and restrict the flow of supplies and reinforcements to American forces. Now, if you're still watching the video, it must mean you're interested. Why not take a second to subscribe and give the video a like? And now, let's continue. The U.S. military's presence in the Philippines. A check on China's growing influence. The U.S. has long maintained a strategic military presence in the Philippines, with several major military bases located in the country. In the face of China's expansion into the South China Sea and the construction of island fortresses, the U.S. has been exploring ways to utilize their bases in the Philippines to help support Taiwan, as well as to suppress the effectiveness of China's military bases in the South China Sea. One way in which the U.S. is looking to support Taiwan is by providing military aid and training to the Taiwanese armed forces. This includes the transfer of military hardware and equipment, as well as the provision of training and expertise to improve the capabilities of Taiwan's military. In addition, the U.S. is looking to utilize their bases in the Philippines to support naval operations in the region. This includes the deployment of U.S. warships and aircraft to the South China Sea, as well as the establishment of joint naval exercises with regional allies, such as Japan and Australia. By utilizing their bases in the Philippines, the U.S. can help to counter the growing military threat posed by China's island fortresses in the South China Sea. For example, the U.S. can utilize their air bases in the Philippines to launch airstrikes against Chinese military installations in the region, or to provide air support for naval operations in the area. Moreover, the U.S. can use their naval assets based in the Philippines to help enforce freedom of navigation in the South China Sea, which is a key strategic waterway for global trade. This can help to limit China's ability to assert their territorial claims in the region and to counter their efforts to control the flow of maritime traffic through the area. President Marcos, in his address to Philippine troops, urged them to remain vigilant in the face of an external threat to security that he described as becoming more complex and unpredictable. He emphasized the need to protect the hard-earned peace and stability of the nation and to improve relations with foreign counterparts. Although he did not provide specifics, Marcos acknowledged the existence of an emerging threat to Philippine territory that would require adjustments to the nation's strategy. In response to China's aggressive actions in the South China Sea, the Philippine Coast Guard has launched a strategy of publicizing such actions, which has countered Chinese propaganda and drawn international attention. The Philippine Coast Guard has increased patrols in the disputed waters and taken extra measures to document and publicize assertive Chinese behavior, including the February 6 incident in which a Chinese Coast Guard ship aimed a military-grade laser at a Philippine patrol boat, briefly blinding some crew members. Chinese Foreign Ministry, however, has accused the U.S. of increasing tensions by strengthening its military presence in the region and has called on countries to be vigilant and avoid being used by the U.S. China maintains that defense cooperation between countries should promote regional peace and stability and not harm the interests of third parties. Given the recent incident involving China's use of a military-grade laser and the increasing presence of the U.S. military in the Philippines, it is possible that China may become more aggressive and expand further into the South China Sea. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more great content. We'll see you in the next one.